Hello Finxters, this is Priyatham here. Welcome to another video on Python Pandas functions. In this video, I'll walk you through a map function in Pandas, right? Whatever you're seeing here. A map function is basically a method on top of a series, data structure, a series object in Pandas used to convert the values of this series from one domain to another domain. If we just do a Google search of Pandas map, what it results in, you can see that, right? Map is a series method, whatever I'm saying you, like only a series method map. Okay, and let's open its documentation to see what it has to say to us, right? So map has a majorly one argument, okay, in the parameters, and that argument is having three possible different types of values it can take, right? It can take a function, and it can take a dictionary, and it can take a series also. Okay, so based upon that, what it actually does, what I'm saying is to map values of series according to the input correspondence, right? So whatever the function is used, based upon that input correspondence, it will map the values of the series from series by applying that values by applying this function on the values of on the series and resulting the result. Okay, so that's that can be see, but I will demonstrate that to you in this tutorial, right? So let us first construct a data frame for this purpose, in which we can walk through all the concepts related to the map, whatever the functions we have, seen different types of functions and all, right? So let us import the pandas using its standard alias pd, and as we construct the data frame, you can see that we have the information of the four people with us, right? Edward, Natalie, Chris and Priyatham, right? And gender, age and their weights in kilograms, right? So as we have this information about them, then what we actually want to do is to apply method on apply this whatever the map input can take. Okay, like whatever you're seeing, that it can be a dictionary, or it can be a function, it can be a series, right? So first of all, let us map a dictionary to the column of the data frame, whatever we have. Like let's say let us take a sex column, whatever we have. Okay, and as I get the type of that sex column, what its type, if you would like to inquire, then you have this as a series, right? So that is why, as we are taking the df of sex, which is actually a series, and we said that map is a series method, so I am allowed to apply map on top of it, right? So we were thinking to map the dictionary on the columns, right? So the dictionary that we have is converting the male's m string to 0 and female's f string to 1. That is what this dictionary mapping is doing here. Okay, this is because basically this what data wrangling which we are doing, the conversion of string to the numerical column is used in when we are building a model, a machine learning model. After this data wrangling process, when we want to apply this model, then model actually takes only numerical columns, because its model is actually a function which do some calculations, and calculations are done on numerical values, right? So for that purpose, we would like to convert the string values whenever possible, which can be used in the model, to a numerical type. Okay, so that's why we does this. The use case of this is that, mainly, if you think of why we are doing this. Okay, So it resulted in the series. Okay, so what it have done is like take the male string of the sex column and convert them to 0, and which are 0 0 0, where Edward, Chris and Pritham, both three of them are males in this, and Natalie is a female over here, and which is converted to 1 here. Okay, so this can be visualized by animation. Okay, I have constructed an animation which make you understand what is happening in this intuitively. Okay, which can be visualized here. Okay, so data manipulation is what we are doing. So we have the pandas map function, so map method, right? So and the possible arguments I have said are dictionary function and index series, and in which dictionary is what we are taking here as an argument, right? So the data frame is we have, and we are applying the dictionary, and we are taking the sex column, right? So if family is female, we are taking it first, and it takes see the female here. 1 second, it have seen the female here and given 1 here, and takes the male and have seen males here and maps the 0 values in this. That's how you can visualize this. If you would like to see it once again, let me show you, so that you can and have some intuition of what actually happening in the map function when dictionary is taken as an argument. Okay, yeah, so we can observe it once again. Female is first of all taken and checks for the female here and maps it here. The same way is for the male here, checks here and maps it here, whatever the value we have. Okay, that's how you can think of pandas map method, series map method, pandas series map method with argument as a dictionary. Okay, so now let us as you have seen the animation, now we just will map a function to a column. We have done a mapping of dictionary to a column, and as we have seen in the documentation that dictionary is one of the types which is a possible value, and we would like to explore how a function behaves here. Okay, so let us go and run it. So the use case, let us first of all think of a use case here. The same use case, whatever we have achieved using a dictionary here. Okay, mapping male to 0 and m to 0 and female f to 1 here. Let us do the same thing by a function instead of a dictionary. Let us to demonstrate you that both of them does the same. I have taken this use case only here, that by constructing a function sex int, okay, which is actually in strings. I'm making them integers here, right? So that's why I named it sex int. And as we run it the same way as we have run it in this map, inside the map we take the function as an argument here. Okay, notice how the function doesn't take any brace and data into it directly in like a conventional function. Okay, this like if you see if you just run in a normal way what this sex int 1 second, yeah, if we just see how we can run this, category is a string here, which means if we give it as input m, then what it results is 0, because it checks categories m and returns 0. That's how it actually, in a general way, a function operates by taking some data into it. The data here to this function is given directly from the whatever the series which we are taking, and one after the other, one by one, whatever the values we have in the sex column, male, female, are poured onto sex int, which is taken care by the map function which is written in the pandas library. Okay, so on top of the series, and results in whatever the value it's taken, whatever the result, it needs to be given according to its category. Now like if you would like to add, see the same animation and visualize it, how it happens in this function, when we are applying the function to the series. I have made an animation for that also. Yeah, you can observe here that mapping elements of the Pandas series object, and we are taking here, as we are saying, these are the 3 arguments, and we are taking function now, right? So this is the function we have here, okay, as we have seen here, 6int. This is the function here, okay, and the data frame here, and we are applying that sexint function, whatever we have here, on the sex column. And male takes, here, this is what can visualize the major point here, that the male goes into the category male value and checks inside the function and results in the resultant series. It converts, it copies to the resultant series. Like males go here, 0 comes here, female goes here, 1 comes here, male goes here, 0 comes here, one after the other. This is how you can think what's happening actually inside the maps functionality when we are doing this operation. That's visualization. You can think it's one after the other, one by one. All the elements have been taken into it one by one and resulted in the values after applying the function, right? So if you would like to compare the results what we got from the dictionary, applying the dictionary, so mapping the dictionary to the column and mapping function to the column programmatically, we can see it here that the dictionary application here, application on the map, and mapping the function, normal Python function, both of them are equal by seeing this true. Okay, so another thing which is there in the documentation is it can take a series also, right? So we will demonstrate that here. Now we have finished demonstration of a dictionary and a function, and now a series here. Okay, so for that purpose, let us construct some different use case here instead of just mapping male and female. The different use case here is we would like to, the persons whatever we have in our data set are willing to provide their nicknames to us. Okay, so their nicknames are like this is the data frame that we are having, right? So in that data frame, like Edwards is providing his nickname as Ed, and Natalie is providing her nickname as Nat, and similar way Chris and Pritham also, right? So that's why we are constructing a series here, because we would like to demonstrate how a series can be used to map, right? That's that is why we are constructing here a series at first, and also it should be a indexed series. That is a mandate thing which you should keep in mind, which is not actually explicitly mentioned in this documentation, but it is how it operates is actually it should have a explicit index, which is what a index of the caller series, actually the caller series, because the map is a series method as I told, and the series which is calling the map function is the df of name column here, which is this series it's taking, right? So that series index, that series values are there, right? What are the values in that series? Like if you just see what are the values of the name, we can see at the top already, but explicitly if you want to see in a series, this is how it have like Edward, Natalie, Chris and Pritham, Chris, Emma and Pritham are the values of the series. Okay, that values should be the series, the called series index. There is a condition here. Okay, means whatever the series which we are applying, so which we are mapping, should have an index of the caller series values. Yeah, it's a bit confusing, but I will demonstrate you in the animation, which you will clearly grasp it. Okay, so a nickname series is created here with index of the name on which we want to apply on the column which we would like to apply, and with nicknames as follows here. Okay, so we are mapping a nickname here. Okay, we are mapping a nickname series on the name series, and it results in the nicknames with the index as the index of the caller series. And this being said, because we would like to, let's say, add this column or add this series as a column into the data frame. Okay, then the index of the caller series, which is 0123, df names index 0123, should be equal to the resultant series after mapping a series, external series, which is this values, and its index is 0123, so that this can be easily added as a column to the data frame we have. Okay, so that's how it functions. Let us just look after the animation which I made for the series. Okay, you can see it clearly, understand it clearly, whatever I said in the words, you can visualize here. Okay, like indexed series is the argument which we are looking now for the map, right? And this is a nickname series which we have constructed, which we would like to apply, which we would like to map. Okay, and mapping the nickname series. This nickname series is taken now, right? So nickname series index and the caller series values, that's what the statement says, that the index of the series and the caller series, the index of the called series and the index of the values of the caller series should be equal. Okay, so these both, and this will again result as a the values of the nickname are copied to the resultant series, whatever we get. Okay, in which the index of the resultant series and the caller series should be same. Okay, so you can visualize it once again clearly, so that you can understand by yourself visually. Okay, yeah, you can see here that index series is as an argument, and that index series is created and the data frame we have, and then we would like to map that indexed series. This column is first of all selected, and this both should be same and not same. The check is done, and the values are copied to the resultant series, right? So that's how you can think of how it's operating internally in the Pandas. Okay, yeah, as I said, the indexes of most they are very important. I can demonstrate that to you over here, that I'm adding a nickname column, okay, to the data frame. Okay, you can see that because after mapping the nickname, the same I am assigning to a nickname column of the data frame, and you can see that here it's easily being done, right? So that's the three types of arguments that are possible in the Pandas series.map method. right? So we have seen until now what we have seen. We have seen mapping a single column until now. Okay, mapping a single column. Why we have seen mapping a single column? Because as it's mentioned in the documentation that map is a series method, and in the data frame a column is a series. That is why we have seen until now map as a series method and on only one column. But there are hacks, some hacks in, you can do some hacking in the to apply the map to multiple columns also. Actually a multiple column will be a data frame here, which is, these are the multiple columns, and multiple columns combined together actually becomes a data frame, right? So mapping multiple columns is actually means map, using the map for the data frame in that sense, if you think of. Okay, so let us say for this purpose, mapping multiple columns, let us take a use case. The use case is whatever the data frame we have. Okay, the the gender, whatever the sex column we have, is only one column we are having directly, in which we are directly saying that Edward's gender is male and Natalie's male is F and follow, and so on. Okay, and so on, like that we are just mentioning in a single column. Okay, now let us mention in two different columns where male, we dedicate a column named male, okay, and a column named female, way in which we can say yes and no, in the sense as Edward, Chris and Preetham are male and Natalie is female. In the male column for these three people it's yes and no for the Natalie. In the same way it's a yes for Natalie in the female column and others are no, right? So why we are doing this at first? In the first place, if you think of why we are doing this, in the if we have sex as a single column, and if we would like to map a dictionary for that, okay, like as we have done this dictionary mapping here, like 0100, when we apply a machine learning model afterwards, that is the main theme actually. Whatever the data wrangling which we are doing is for two keeping mainly two applications in mind. One is the data visualization and other is the building a machine learning model on top of the data. So at that timing, when the model is getting built, as I said, it's all and the machine learning model actually it does all the calculations, right? So in that calculations there is a possibility that it might think a 1 is greater than 0, okay, and interprets in such a way whatever the model is built also. Okay, so we would like to get rid of that problem, because that's not the case here, because the gender of male and female means they are different. It doesn't mean that some value is greater and some value is smaller. They are not comparable. Okay, so that is why we are introducing some redundancy of data here also. Means we are introducing some redundancy of data, but this will solve our issue. That is, as we are dedicating separate column for male and female, it can't think that male is greater than female and something like that, okay, or female is greater than male because female has 1 and male has 0, like that. So it doesn't think in that way, the model. So that is why that is the use case we would like to achieve. Okay, so for that purpose we are taking the subset of the data frame which of just male and female columns. Okay, you can see this is the data frame we have finally now, on which we would like to map multiple columns, and these are the two multiple columns we have. Okay, so for that what we will do is, actually I will say we have a process called as stacking. Okay, in the in the Pandas, what a stack of stack of a data frame does is it stacks all the columns as a series of series. Okay, this first of all, a single column is made as a series, which is again a single makes a single series, like that. Means first series is 0th index, where internally it has another series of the first row. In that way the stacking operation operates. Okay, so this is again a series, right? So as I said that map is a series method, so we can apply that map to this series here, and we applied a dictionary mapping here, and saying that yes is to be replaced as 1 and no is to be replaced as 0, right? So let us do just until here and see what happens. Okay, and you can see the result here, that after mapping the dictionary, the map values are returned, and this is again a series of series, right? So we would like to convert back to the data frame in which the S and no are replaced by 1 and zeros, right? So that is being done using the unstacking. Whatever the stacking we have done, we would like to unstack it, right? So that's the final result, where male is replaced by 1 and female is replaced by 0 in the male column, and female is replaced by 1 and male is replaced by 0 in the female column. So if it thinks that male is greater than female in its own column, it doesn't matter, because male is dominant here, so it doesn't matter. That's how we overcame the problem that might happen when we have single gender column, right? This type of encoding is actually called as one-hot encoding in machine learning. Okay, and we have already what you call predefined functions and routines for that, but as we have seen as a separate application here, that's how it's being done. Okay, yeah, that's all for this time. We'll come up with another function in Pandas in the next video. Yeah, I'll be very happy to explain you more and more functions on Pandas. Thank you. Stay safe.